Here to react to all this is Unleash Prosperity co-founder Steve Moore. Steve, let's get to the crux of the issue, which is that Obamacare was never meant to lower costs, despite the name of it, Affordable Care. It wasn't about lowering costs. It was about hooking as many Americans as possible on the government dole. That's what it's about. It's the road to socialized medicine. And we see where that's turned out, or how it's turned out in places like the UK.
Well said. I couldn't say that any better than you just did. And we knew this when Obamacare was passed. All of the predictions that critics like myself and you and others made about Obamacare have proven to be true. We knew it wouldn't control costs. We knew it would suck more and more people into this government-run system. And we knew that they couldn't jump over the river all the way to a government-run healthcare system in one jump. So they jumped into the middle of the river on a stone. And now the next step, of course, is to put more and more people under this system that is bankrupting the country. And incidentally, people who get Obamacare coverage, their health outcomes aren't much better than people who don't have health insurance at all. So we're spending more money than ever before, David, and yet the health outcomes have not improved at all.
Send a message to the feckless and weak Republicans who will step up and stand up and vote for an extension of these supersized subsidies that not one Republican voted for back in 2021, Steve. They must not extend these.
Well, listen, I mean, this has always been a tough issue for Republicans. For as long as the three of us have been covering politics and economic policy, it's just not the strike zone for Republicans. And so they've always caved in, Dagan. I mean, I hate to say it, but, you know, when Democrats run ads saying, oh, Congressman so-and-so is going to take away your health care, you know, they fold like a cheap tent. I hope that doesn't happen now because we have so much evidence like the ones you just presented. Study after study after study is showing all this is doing is putting money into the health insurance coffers. And by the way, David and Dagan, the people are lobbying the hardest in Washington on Capitol Hill as we speak to get this new subsidy, an expanded subsidy of the health insurance companies. They're the ones who make all the money.
You know, I hate to say this, but I feel that the Obama gambit to get to socialism, socialized medicine, that this was the camel's nose under the tent, has worked to a certain extent. 48% of our health care costs are now paid by the government. 48% of the $5 trillion that Americans spend on health care is paid for by the government, one system or the other. So Americans are gravitating just by the weight of these numbers towards socialized medicine.
Yeah, no, that's exactly true. And what you're going to end up with, and I hope I'm wrong about this, is a system where, you know, the 10 or 15 or 20% richest Americans just opt out of the system and get high quality care, just paying for it themselves. And the other 80% of us are stuck in some socialist system like in Canada and the UK, where, yeah, it's great health care, but if you want to get an MRI, you have to wait 3 months. Or if you want to get surgery, you're going to have to wait 6 months. That's not health care.
Or you die in a dirty hospital. Anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Now on to this. Blue state governors are ganging up against the Trump tax cuts. Liberal strongholds like New York, Illinois, and California are sticking it to blue-collar workers as these states refuse to nix state taxes on tips and overtime pay, all in the name of defying Trump. And I do want to mention there are 9 states that are largely Republican that are cutting state taxes on top of the one big beautiful bill.
Well, look, that's right, Dagan. And here's the problem with that is that these are the same mayors and governors who keep saying how much they care about middle-class people, how concerned they are about the affordability crisis, and they don't want to extend the no tax and overtime, which is basically working-class Americans. What about the people who make overtime? Those are construction workers, electricians, carpenters, working-class Americans. I thought they cared about those people, but they're not going to give them the tax break, even though it's essentially free to the states. That's how much they hate Donald Trump.
Yeah, they care about power. That's about the only thing. We got to get your reaction to this. You can leave it to Bernie Sanders to find a new group that needs to pay its fair share. This time, it isn't billionaires, it's robots. He posts on X, quote, robots don't need a wage, health care, time off, sick leave, Social Security, Medicare, or unemployment benefits. Maybe it's time to tax robots and use that revenue generated to help working families. What do you think?
I had not heard that one before, David, but I'm not surprised it's coming. Where else are they going to get the tax revenues from? And, I think, what was the Tobor? Remember Tobor was the robot in that famous sitcom on robots. But look, robots will enhance productivity. It is coming. They're going to make America a better place. And, of course, therefore, Bernie Sanders wants to tax it.
He is up to something. What's the old line? Like, if it moves, they'll tax it.
Yeah.
But he is up to something. I'm not blaming it on his, how old is he, his octogenarianism. He's talking about this is a method or an avenue to adding additional corporate taxes, Steve, because it's like, oh, you're using robotics and automation.
Yep.
So we are going to levy a tax on that automation and those robotics that you're using, because I think he specifically mentioned Amazon. Real quick, final word.
Yeah, look, but that is already taxed. The output of the robots is in productivity, and we tax productivity, as David just said, through the corporate tax. So it's just be another tax on productivity and companies that make things.
Never have enough taxes. Steve Moore, great to see you, my friend. Thank you.
You too, David.